There was a time when I would lose it as soon as my phone's battery level would go below 70%. Then came those 50 watt and 65 watt fast chargers, and I wouldn't panic as long as the battery was still at 40 to 50%. But what Xiaomi has managed to do with Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge is most likely to put an end to all that unnecessary anxiety. Now, if you're on the internet and if you follow the world of tech, more specifically smartphones, I think you already know that this phone comes with 120 watt fast charging support, and Xiaomi claims that it can actually charge from 0 to 100% in just 15 minutes. Xiaomi 11i Hypercharged is priced at rupees 26,999 for its base variant, so it is definitely positioned in a segment where there are already a lot of impressive options. So is fast charging enough to buy this phone, or is there more to Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge? Well, I'll tell you in this review. You're watching Fiber. My name is Manas Tiwari. Now, we usually do our reviews in a set order. We talk about design and then move on to the different aspects. But in this phone's case, since the charging tech is the biggest headline maker here, let's start with that itself. Honestly, I'm not sure how many people make their buying decision basis how fast their phone charges, but it is increasingly becoming an important factor. If you ask me, most users will be more than happy with Xiaomi 11i that comes with 67 watt fast charging support and costs rupees 4,000 less. But this phone is specifically for those who want the best of tech out there. The 120 watt fast charging support on Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge makes it one of the fastest charging phone in the world and certainly the best in India. I'm impressed that Xiaomi is shipping the phone with compatible charger in the box, even though it plans to sell it separately for rupees 4,000. The fast charging tech means Xiaomi has gone with a comparatively smaller 4500 mAh battery here. The Xiaomi 11i packs a bigger 5160 mAh battery pack. During my time, I found that Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge charges nearly 50% in 7 minutes, 75% in 11 minutes, and 100% in about 14 to 15 minutes. The phone gets slightly warm during the charging process, and if that is something bothering you, then you can turn off the fast charging mode. Also, I am a little concerned about this charging tech's impact on the phone's battery life in the longer run. Now, Xiaomi claims that you will not see an impact, but only time will tell if there is one or not. Now let's talk about the design of this phone. This phone was launched in China as the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, and ever since that launch happened, there have been a lot of comparisons between this phone and Apple's iPhone 13. And honestly, I don't know why, because apart from these flat edges, there is absolutely nothing common between the two phones. The Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge is built like a mid-premium smartphone. It comes with a glass back, which for some reason does not feel as premium as the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, which was launched last year. It still gives you a plastic sort of feel. The smartphone comes in 4 color options: Stealth Black, Pacific Pearl, Camo Green and Purple Mist. All of them have matte finish. I received the Camo Green variant for review, but Xiaomi was kind enough to send the rear panel of other 3 variants too. They have similar touch and feel but different textures. My vote for the best variant goes to Pacific Pearl. The only resemblance to the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max is in terms of the camera module. You get a similar looking rectangular shaped camera module on the top left with a silver ring around the topmost lens. The module has 4 lenses, but unlike the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, the Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge only packs 3 sensors. I guess the extra lens is just for aesthetics. The phone is equipped with NFC, IR blaster and stereo dual speakers. It also has a 3.5mm headphone jack and a SIM tray that offers optional micro SD card support. The front has a tiny hole punch cutout to house the selfie camera and also very thin bezels, which honestly I think could have been better. Lastly, the phone is also IP53 rated for water and dust resistance. Now let's talk about that display. This phone comes with a 6.67-inch 120Hz Full HD AMOLED display with 360Hz touch sampling rate and 1200 nits peak brightness. The typical brightness is 700 nits here. The phone ticks most boxes except two. Firstly, Xiaomi has used an 8-bit panel here. It has used a superior 10-bit panel on the Mi 11 Lite and Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G in the past. I think it does make a difference in your streaming experience. The 10-bit panel traditionally has better colors and contrast levels. Secondly, this one does not have a variable refresh rate. So you can only choose between 60Hz and 120Hz refresh rate. The display will not automatically switch between other refresh rates. And I think Xiaomi again last year had a variable refresh rate feature on the Mi 10i, which actually cost less than this phone. I would still say that it's a pretty good screen. It's big, crisp, sharp, and you can also use it under direct sunlight because it gets really bright. Now let's talk about the performance, because this phone actually comes with the all-new processor. This is the first time I have used MediaTek's Dimensity 920 processor, which was also used on the recently launched Vivo V23, and I think you're going to find it in a lot of mid-premium smartphones of this year. The smartphone is paired with up to 8GB of RAM and 128GB UFS 2.2 storage. The price difference between the two variants is only Rs 2000, so I would suggest you to opt for the 8GB RAM option. I've been using the same variant as well, and everyday performance has been satisfactory. The UI is smooth, transitions are flawless, and apps don't take much time to load. Xiaomi has used an X-axis linear vibration motor here, which makes typing fun too. In fact, Xiaomi has been silently improving the haptics on its phones, and it has started showing. A mid-range chipset comes with its own set of limitations, more specifically for gaming. For example, if you're running Call of Duty, the game will not play above medium graphic quality. As soon as you switch the frame rate to high, the graphic quality comes down to low. So your gaming experience is affected in a lot of ways. The phone can still run medium-sized games quite seamlessly, and it should be enough for most users. The chipset brings VC liquid cooling to the phone, which helps in keeping the temperature under control. The smartphone runs MIUI 12.5 based on Android 11. Anyone who has used a Xiaomi, Redmi or a Poco smartphone in the past would be familiar with the operating system. It was good to see that there are lesser bugs on this phone than what I've seen in the previous Xiaomi smartphones. You also get dual stereo speakers here, so the phone gets pretty loud for your media consumption, and I think that is pretty much it. Now let's talk about the camera. Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge packs a triple rear camera system, which again is a friendly reminder that the smartphone brands will not be fighting over the number of sensors anymore. You get a 108 megapixel main sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor, and a 2 megapixel macro sensor. There is also a 16 megapixel selfie shooter on the front for your selfies and video calls. Now I'm kind of surprised and disappointed that Xiaomi has actually ditched the 5 megapixel telemacro sensor which it has used on last year's Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, and it has instead gone for a 2 megapixel sensor, macro sensor on this phone. Anyway, here's what I think about the camera performance. The main camera does a great job. Most pictures clicked by it are sharp and have good number of details. The camera shows decent color accuracy. It does not oversaturate the images or boost the colors unnecessary to make them look better. Having said that, I didn't see any noticeable change or improvement over the 108 megapixel main camera of the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. I can't compare the images side by side, but I think dynamic range and sharpness is identical. The ultra wide angle camera is pretty average and something you expect on a mid-range phone. The wide shots can differ a lot based on the light conditions. Some of them look good, others have visible noise, especially in darker surroundings. I found the macro lens quite useless on a Xiaomi phone after a long time. You need really steady hands to get anything presentable out of it. I still can't understand why Xiaomi ditched the telemacro of the Note 10 series. Night mode seems fine. It gives you good pictures in low light conditions. Again, the performance is nowhere close to what you can get on flagship phones. Selfies were impressive, better than what I expected. The camera does not smoothen the skin tones. You can adjust that from settings as well. And selfies can also be clicked in portrait mode. I liked most images that I got out of this phone. The camera app has a few options to keep you busy. These include the 108 megapixel mode, Pro mode, long exposure mode, and more. Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge could have launched in India as the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, but it's very clear that Xiaomi does not want to launch anything over rupees 25,000 under its Redmi branding. But brand strategy aside, the Xiaomi 11i Hypercharge is still a very capable smartphone. You get a high refresh rate AMOLED display, a 120 watt fast charging support, and a decent performance to keep you happy. In fact, that fast charging is specifically for those who get anxious about their phone's battery life. Three things that we liked about this phone. First has to be the fast charging speed, it is pretty good. Second is the display, which is really nice. And third is the camera performance. More or less it satisfies you. Three things that we did not like about this phone. Now some of you are gonna troll me over this, but we like the overall camera performance, but not the macro camera. Macro camera needs a lot of improvement here. And second thing that we did not like is the overall performance. Third, I would also, is a sub part of this, which is the gaming performance. So first thing is the macro lens, second is the overall performance, and third is the gaming performance of this phone that could have been a lot better. Our rating for this phone is 8.5 out of 10 simply for one reason, which is that this is still a very practical smartphone that should satisfy most users out there. If you like this video, you know what to do. Subscribe to Fiber. Also subscribe to our Hindi channel, Fiber Hindi, where we are putting out a lot of other videos as well. Also follow us on all our social media handles. I'll see you in next video.